Hey Pleekers, welcome to the first episode of Sequels. Alright, so this week, for the first episode of Sequels, we watched The Godfather. Spun the wheel last week.
You weren't happy.
Later on Godfather. Not like it's not that I didn't want to watch it. I just really wanted him to have to watch Planet of the Apes.
Well, eventually I'll.
But eventually he'll have to, and I really want us to watch. There's just so many movies I wanted us to watch, and I was like, oh god, these, because I just know how long they are.
So I looked at it. So this is 177 minutes long.
Yeah, I paused it because he even had to poop in the middle of the movie, which he's already seen it, so it's not that big a deal.
Shit happens.
And I had to pee, and I was like, well, they're in the middle of making
Michael.
They were making Michael the Godfather. I was like, well, this seems like an important scene, so I paused it to go pee. It's 2 hours and 57 minutes long, and I was like, oh my god, it's like 3 minutes short of being 3 hours long.
But it was good. It's good.
It's good though.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously, I've seen it before, like a year ago maybe.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah. And I completely blacked out the part where does he go?
He goes to Italy.
Italy, yeah. I completely blacked out that entire part.
Apollonia.
Oh, we should say, for anybody that doesn't know the story of The Godfather, that's where we want to tell what it is on the show.
Okay, so it's about a mafia family.
Yeah, it's about a mob family, and it starts out at the main dude, the Godfather, his daughter's wedding.
Yeah, so
some guy's asking him, because wasn't some dude hurting the guy's sister or something, and he was asking him for a favor and all this stuff.
it was his daughter.
His daughter. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it, and you're going to owe me something one day.
Yeah.
So then it goes on, and they start doing their mob stuff. They keep hanging out with this actor guy, and like they
singer,
but then they're trying to get him in this movie.
Yeah.
And so they're doing stuff with that, and then this guy makes him a deal, or tries to like make a deal with them. The Godfather says no, but his son was like, ah. So yeah, he almost wanted to make the deal.
Oh my god, this is your version of the movie? Okay.
So it stirred all this trouble. Gang violence started happening. Bunch of people died. The Godfather got shot at.
Yeah.
He was in a hospital for a while, which was a cool little scene with what's the real kid dude's name? Michael. What's his name in real life?
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Oh, when he kills the captain and Salazzo?
Yeah, that part's cool. But I was talking about when he's in the hospital, like he's like.
Oh yeah, that was
cool
cool too. That was cool.
I like that part. So,
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool seeing him because he was just like a normal guy, an army dude. He
was very reluctant.
He didn't
reluctant in the beginning to even be part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny. When first time I was like, wow, that looks a lot like Al Pacino looks a lot like Al Pacino. And he's like, it's because it is. I was like, oh, he just looks so young. I didn't, because I knew he was in Godfather, but I thought it was just like 2 and 3 or something. I didn't know he was in the first one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he looks so weird young. But yeah, so it's cool. It was cool seeing him get up into. Basically, it's about kind of Al Pacino becoming the Godfather too, like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, he kind of takes over for his father.
He's a lot better at making the decisions than his brother Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny wasn't very good at it.
Because every time he talked, Sonny, I just imagined the guy from Entourage talking Vincent and like doing stuff.
That's so weird because I don't really see them as looking alike. Like I never thought they.
For anybody that doesn't know, the guy from what's his name in Entourage?
Well, it's Scott Conn. I don't know his name.
It's Scott Conn's son. He's in Entourage like the last couple.
James Conn.
Oh, James Conn's son, Scott Conn.
Yeah.
He's in the last couple seasons of Entourage.
Yeah, which
So,
I like Scott Conn too.
I just picture him. He's also in Hawaii Five-0, right?
Yeah, he was cool in that.
Is that still going on?
I don't think so.
Like he canceled?
Probably.
I know Jim from Lost was in that, and he was weird because he was kind of like a cool guy in that, and I pictured him as like a loser in Lost, kind of, you know?
He was a loser?
Well, not really, but like he was like a shy guy, didn't do much until like the end.
Oh.
So like it's weird seeing him like freeze, motherfucker, in Hawaii Five-0.
Never said that.
You didn't watch that season.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's basically the story of The Godfather.
Yeah, okay. I mean, not really, but yeah, that's cool.
So you wrote down some notes?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like little things, like
when did it come out?
1972.
How old was I then?
You were minus 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How old was I?
-1? Or were you 1?
I was actually minus 9 months because it came out in March.
I was close.
And actually, you'd think you'd know when your father was born, but whatever.
Hey, I kind of did. I'm closer than you probably thought I'd be.
Yeah, because there was math involved.
Asshole.
So then it's based on the novel by Mario Puzo.
But how close is it to the book? Or the movie?
It's pretty close. There's a lot in the book that's 2, because it goes more into detail.
Oh, really?
If I remember right. It's been a year since I read it.
Did you look up if there's more than one book? Because I know I asked you that during the movie.
No, I didn't look. No, I don't think there is.
If there is, I'll put them up right here.
So he got $12,500 for the movie rights, like the
really?
book. Yeah, and then but 80,000 if it got like, you know how they give you money and then if we make a movie.
Oh yeah.
So they got 80,000, but then they hired him for 100,000 to help write it. So he made.
Money in the long run.
But it was on the bestseller for 67 weeks and sold 9 million copies. So he probably made a little money from that too.
Wow.
You know.
I did see when I was looking up stuff that the studio, I believe it's Universal Studios.
It's Paramount.
Oh, I was wrong. Paramount. There's a couple times like they didn't want the director to be the director. Like they were very reluctant on him because he was taking a long time and using money and all that.
Which is funny because then he made it under budget and made it on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Like just like you told me, they didn't want Al Pacino to play Michael.
Yeah.
Until like the hospital scene.
Yeah.
And then I also looked up the Godfather, how he has that cat that's and everything. It's in his pop figure right here. He's holding a cat. That was just a random cat walking around the studio, and he picked it up and brought it in the set.
Yeah, because I read that like they had to redo his dialogue because the cat was purring all the time.
And then also in that same scene, like the same about scene area in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's like their muscle. What's the guy's name?
Luca Brasi.
That guy. When he's talking to the Godfather, I guess the actor was so nervous that he was working with the guy who plays the Godfather.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah, when he messed up his line in the movie, that was literally him messing up, and the director just left it in because he thought it was funny. And then they added in him practicing those lines after the fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like learning shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of trivia to this movie.
Yeah.
For one, because it's one of the best movies ever made. And then it's got one of the best casts ever. And it just, like a lot of things, like they said, like Francis Ford Coppola was like the 13th guy that they asked to direct it. There's 12 other guys before him. Yeah. And then, so like, I guess for Vito, like it was between Marlon Brando or Ernest Borgnine, and then they went with Brando, obviously. But could you imagine if they go the other way?
Yeah.
And then so like for Pacino's role, they went on Warren Beatty or Robert Redford. Like I could see Warren Beatty doing it, but I can't picture Robert Redford.
I always wish like when stuff like that happens in movies, you could see what the alternate outcome would be.
Yeah.
Like, there's like so many things that like, oh, we wanted to choose this guy.
Way
like,
too flashy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wish I could like be like, oh, what's the Earth 2 version of that movie kind of.
Right. Oh my god. So in 2, which we will watch this weekend probably.
Probably watch it this week. If you want to watch Godfather 2 with us, or like be with us when we talk about it next week, watch it this weekend or something like that.
Yeah, I mean close to it.
We'll tweet out if you want to follow us on Twitter.
In all honesty, I like the Godfather 2 better than the Godfather 1.
Is that for most people? Or is that just like a
No, I think it's just. I mean, a lot of people like it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up there. Like this is number 2 in IMDb all time.
Godfather or Godfather 2?
Godfather.
Oh, okay.
Godfather 2 was number 3.
Oh,
if I remember right. I could be wrong.
Is Godfather? Because I've heard you say Godfather 3 isn't that great. Is Godfather 3 like known to be bad for a lot of people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask why, but I should just wait till I watch it.
Yeah, just wait till you watch it.
Is most of the cast in Godfather 3? Like the same cast that's in this one and 2?
I can't answer that.
Okay.
But some, yeah, I mean, some are.
Some are,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, some are.
I do gotta ask you, how'd you feel about Rocky's wife in the movie?
God, I hate her. You know, and I didn't know, I mean, I knew, but I forgot. That's the director's sister.
Yeah. Which one I read, too, that he was, like, he almost didn't want her to audition for the role.
Oh,
he was
really?
very reluctant on having her doing that because of the character.
Oh.
Like, he didn't want to see her go through that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the baby that gets baptized at the end is his daughter.
Yeah, you asked me if I recognized the baby.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't. Doesn't look that familiar.
Which is pretty funny.
I never looked it up, so if anybody knows this, comment down below. As we were watching the movie, and they strangle that girl's husband.
Yeah,
at
Carlo.
At the end of the movie, all of a sudden his foot goes through the windshield super easy, but like almost looks like it's gonna kick the camera. And
it's like literally inches in front of the camera.
Which maybe they zoomed in, I don't know, but like it looked like an accident to me. Like he wasn't supposed to do that.
And they just left it in?
Yeah, I wonder if that's the case. Maybe I'll look it up after the fact, and maybe I'll put up here if I find it. But if any of you guys know, comment that down below, because like as we're watching, I was like, Was he supposed to kick through that windshield? I was like, it looked like that was an accident.
Like, see, I've seen that 100 times, but it never really occurred to me. And then, but when I watched it, and then I saw his foot so close to the camera, I was like, oh yeah, I know what you mean.
It looks weird.
Yeah. So, and then I looked it up. So, it won 3 Oscars.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it won.
How many was it nominated for? Do you know?
11.
11.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's a little misleading because 3 of the 11 are Best Supporting Actors. So James Caan, Al Pacino, and then Robert Duvall were all nominated for the same thing. So they couldn't only win one.
Yeah.
But it won for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Picture, and then Marlon Brando won for Best Actor.
Oh.
So Marlon Brando didn't accept his...
Because of the people?
No, he didn't accept it. He was protesting the way Indians were portrayed in movies and films, so he had some Indian guy accept it for him. Mm-hmm. But then Al Pacino didn't go to the awards either. He was protesting that he was nominated for supporting because he had more film time. Which makes sense, because when I read it, I was like, why is he supporting? He was in the movie more than anybody.
He's watching the movie. He's the main character, basically.
Yeah, but then he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So I agree with Al Pacino. I probably still would have went to the Oscars, but, and then something else I found interesting, which I never knew until this morning. Robert De Niro was supposed to play Paulie, that guy that, calls in sick and then, gets killed. Mm-hmm. But when Pacino left the movie, I think I wrote it down here. The gang that couldn't shoot straight, he left the movie to go make The Godfather. Mm-hmm. But when his role opened up, they gave it to De Niro. So then De Niro left The Godfather, which is you're like, oh, De Niro could have been in it. But if he was Paulie in the first one, I don't think he could have been Vito Corleone in the second one. I mean, maybe he still could have because it's like.
It's like a past thing.
Yeah, like a prequel, sort of, that part. But, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of cool. He could have been in it. And that was such a tiny little role.
Yeah.
But that was, when De Niro was first starting,
That is cool, though. Did we see how much money it made?
No. So, its budget was It says budget was $6 to $7 million. Its initial money made was $81.5 million. So, that's for that year.
Oh, okay.
So, but at the time, it was the highest grossing movie for that year. Mm-hmm. And the highest grossing movie of all time at the time. Really? Yeah. And then it was that until Jaws came out, and then Jaws beat it.
Oh, Jaws beat it?
Yeah.
Do you know if Godfather 2 and 3 did? I mean, we'll talk about those more when we
I don't know.
Those.
I don't know what Godfather 2 did. I assume well because it's also known as a good movie. Mm-hmm. 3 didn't come out till 90. 3 could do bad and do 80 million. If you know what I mean? Yeah. 80 million is not a lot, and 72 was a lot. I don't know. I didn't really look that up because I kind of wanted to stick to. I didn't want to say too much Godfather 2 stuff.
Yeah, because we're gonna do that also. So I want to ask you this.
Okay.
If they ever say we're gonna remake The Godfather.
Oh my God.
Who would you want to cast in it? Who would you think? Oh, if they had this person in the movie, it could be good.
Well, right off the top, Robert De Niro would have to play Vito.
Oh yeah,
because he's already played him, and now he's the right age.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think.
Oh man, I have
who would you cast as Michael?
God, I have no idea.
Because I was thinking about that last night.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, no.
While you think about it too, do you think if they remade it, do you think they
don't talk about remaking it?
Do you think they keep it in the past, or do you think
they should?
Do you think they'd make it a modern?
They should, because he comes back from World War II. He's a war hero, and the mafia is more prevalent back then than it is now. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think.
Because last night I couldn't think of anybody that I would want to be in it. Anybody I thought of, I was that would just be kind of goofy. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never
thought about that.
No.
Because it wouldn't surprise you with every movie being remade or rebooted nowadays. If in a couple of years they're we're gonna do The Godfather. Because they're doing another version of what's that other movie Al Pacino's in? Scarface. They're making a new one of that pretty soon, I'm pretty sure.
I'm never a big fan of Scarface.
But I feel that's kind of just as
to be honest, I've never been a big fan of Al Pacino's. Mm-hmm. But so last night we watched it. I mean, we literally didn't do anything but watch the movie for 3 hours. We sat there and watched it, which I know doesn't sound like a big task. But
Hess would have passed out probably.
Yeah, for sure. But Al Pacino is fucking awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
Because, in the beginning, he's
just a guy with his girlfriend at a party.
Yeah, and by the end, he's,
making people kiss his hand.
Yeah, and like he kills the 5 families and. Did you read the thing about the horse head?
Oh no.
So okay, so I mean, they give that guy an offer he can't refuse. They put that $600,000 horse head in his thing.
Yeah.
He wakes up with it, but I guess animal rights people went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought the blood looked fake, and the horse head looks fake. But it's 1972. It's just like that fighting scene where.
Oh,
James
that
Gunn,
was so bad. It's like right past his head.
but that's
like,
just the
so
way.
bad.
That's like back then. That was okay. Like you look past that. It's kind of like Die Hard.
When he jumps out the window, or whatever, it's not him.
Every time there's a fight scene, you're like, where'd Bruce Willis go? But so you got to kind of get over that because they just don't do it that way anymore. But apparently that was a real horse head.
Really?
So
did they kill the horse for the movie?
no, they got it from like some dog food company that slaughters like 200 horses at a
God.
time. But the people like freaking out. But they used the horse meat for the dog food. It was like I was like, oh god, like
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't have a fucking clue.
Wow.
So a couple other things I got down here. So the American Film Institute in 1998, they did a list 100 years, 100 movies.
Mm-hmm.
It was number 3 on the list.
Oh wow.
And then in 2005, it did 100 years, 100 movie quotes, and number 2 on the list was I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Which makes sense.
Yeah, they said it could have
know.
been the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know that there's much else that I wrote down that we didn't cover. Oh, the one thing, the Sonny's death scene,
Mm-hmm.
they said it filmed for 3 days, and it cost $100,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, probably. I mean, if you fuck up a car, I guess that, that's
Yeah.
20,000 or whatever, you know what I mean? But,
It's funny.
I would have never guessed that.
When we started watching the movie, I was like, oh, I think I remember him dying, but I'm not positive. Like, I think I remember him turning into a place, and there's like all this stuff around him, and he gets shot at, and you're like, well, you want me to tell you? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'll watch it, but I think I remember that. And then right as he got in the car, I was like, yep, that's exactly what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite movies. There's the only good thing about redoing something like that is like you could, like when James Caan gets killed, it doesn't look all that great.
Yeah.
But you get the point. Like it's weird how he gets shot 100 times with submachine guns, but none of them hit him in the face.
That's when I was like, wow. There's like 15 guys shooting at him.
No one hits him in the head.
And no one hits him in the head.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said,
you see past it because it's over.
Because it's so good.
I am excited to watch the second one a little bit.
Really?
Just because like we started out, I want to know where the story goes.
There's one thing I haven't told you about the second one.
Oh god, is there a lot more reading?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, I hate movies with subtitles.
Yeah, there's a lot more reading.
Why is he like? Because he goes to Italy or something?
Well, he's from Italy.
So he's just always talking in
There's
Italian.
a lot of Italy stuff.
Jesus Christ.
But one of my favorite. Godfather's one of my favorite movies of all time. Godfather 2 I like better. That's me personally. That's why I put it on the list. That's why we spun. That's why you got it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Well, we'll be watching that next week.
But yeah, I think this is kind of a fun little thing. Hopefully, people will watch
the movies with us. Yeah,
with us and like.
And I do want to say because every week after we spin the wheel and we pick the movie, we erase everything on the board. So if you guys want to comment a movie, we'll put it on the board the following week. Because like if you want to change up our movies, we don't want to be stuck. Be like, oh, we're on 6 weeks. I could write down like Harry Potter or whatever. So if you guys have any suggestions for any, only rule is that the movie has to have a sequel. Doesn't have to have multiple. Just has to have at least one sequel. Because we can watch more than one movie and do more than one video about it.
So I mean, we have 8 movies on the list. 8 sequels on the list. 8 groups of movies. We now have 7 because we're in the middle of The Godfather. So like if someone commented down below like Pitch Perfect, Jerome would have to put that on there, right?
Please don't. Please don't put Pitch Perfect on there.
That would be fantastic. I don't really like Pitch Perfect. I like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, me either.
I like Anna Kendrick. I could watch her for 4 hours. I got no problem with that.
I don't want to do a video on Pleeka about Pitch Perfect.
We could have Taylor sit in here.
No. Then we do want to have people on the show. Like Hess was supposed to come over this week, but I got a hangover.
Yeah. Hess was a little hungover this morning apparently.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you don't drink.
But yeah.
And the Diamondbacks played. He has his priorities.
Yeah. He apparently Pleeka's not that important to Hess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have any movies to suggest besides Pitch Perfect, comment that down below.
I would if someone. We could do that next if someone just commented Pitch Perfect.
No. And you're not allowed to comment that. It doesn't count. Your comments don't count.
Well, neither do yours.
Maybe mine do.
No, yours don't either.
And also, if you guys have any suggestions, like any advice on how to do the show better, or like...
Yeah, anything out there, like...
anything that you, like, oh, I like the show, but if you guys, like...
Or if there's something you know about The Godfather...
comment
I hate the part where Fredo sticks his finger in Michael's ass. Yeah, something like that.
And like, because like, when we do Godfather 2 next week, maybe we'll read your guys' comments next week.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, so...
Or if you know anything about Godfather 2, comment now, and we'll read them.
Yeah, we'll read that next week, too. But yeah, so thanks for watching the first episode of Sequels. We'll be back next week with The Godfather 2, then following that, Godfather 3, then we spin on wheel again, and we got a new movie.